What is happening, everybody? This is Dave Croft, and welcome back to another Q review where I feature a Q written by a member of the 52 Qs community and provide feedback like you might hear from a music supervisor or a potential library. So we are checking out a sound design kind of action trailer Q, kind of modern trailer Q, written by Topi Jokinen. So we're going to take a listen to this and then talk about it on the other side. That was Sublime Chaos from Topi Jokinen. Topi, thank you so much for sending this along. This was sent during our week 40 weekly feedback threads. And we put weekly feedback threads together every single week. So if you would like your cue featured on the podcast or here on the channel, then join us over there. But I really enjoyed this, man. And these types of trailer cues are types of cues that I don't do a ton of, and they're a lot of work, and like horror trailers and these kind of action trailers, and this is really where I feel that modern trailers are going, especially if something feels a little darker, sci-fi, horror, that type of a thing. So I think we have really well-defined act structure. So we have Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, plus an even like more intense gear of energy. And so that is pretty standard as far as trailers go. I think I would have liked the rhythmic aspect to settle in a little more obviously here at the beginning. Like once we get to there, I feel nice and settled. But coming out of the intro, which is pretty flowy as far as rhythm goes, like and where the pulse is and where the downbeat is and the phrasing, and that's all well and good. But it took me a little bit to kind of get my rhythmic feet under me. Like I don't know if this is in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, or yeah, it's just, I call it rhythmic vertigo, where the phrasing and everything kind of obfuscates the pulse, and that might have been a deliberate choice. And if so, then I say stand by it. But from a listener perspective, it wasn't until where I felt like, oh, here is the forward momentum of the cue. So I wonder if like if you just put a little bit of 16ths, it doesn't have to be as obvious, but let's ground the pulse into something that the music supervisor or the editor, or I mean even the audience, can kind of latch onto. because right now it feels a little nebulous, but then it really sets in, and I think it works very well. The other thing is these modern trailer cues, even though they don't have a hook, like this is the melody and this is where we're gonna, like you would find in a like a superhero type of a trailer or a fantasy trailer or an uplifting dramatic trailer, right? Or let me say it in a thematic trailer, which you have really clearly defined themes and motifs. We still need some kind of sound design sonic hook. And I guess it's the And I'm just wondering if we need something a little bit more overt, even if it's just a signature sound, or it could just be some kind of sonic motif. And I'm sure there's another term for that these modern trailers have in them. I don't think we necessarily needed it here at the beginning because I felt it worked really well. I thought maybe we need an extra impact right there because we're about 15 seconds into the cue before we really kind of bring in a hit. And maybe we make that first impact a little more overt. This is all working really well. Great stop down here going into our third act. Thinking maybe we need a sub drop or something. This is a great layering here. I love that I like that top octave there. That's working. I don't like the harmony kind of, or that ascending line kind of moving twice as fast here. How about it? I'm afraid of that. So it feels like we kind of stood or stayed on the one chord a little bit too much. And here I would do straight chops where it cuts to nothing or nearly nothing. And it feels more stuttery, and leave a little less, or how to say it, add a little bit more daylight in between these. And I don't know if I can fake it here. This might be absolutely terrible. I'm just adding just a little bit of. This is not great, but all right, yeah. But that's the idea. Don't you like really stutter, which you would probably need to do in the either on the master, like automate the master volume so it's cutting up and down. But so instead of going wah 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 wah, just have really clean chops. That final button is really nice. Great audio tail. But the edit points here, yeah, the editors can really use that. It just feels a little chompy. Wah 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 wah. And can we add a riser energy, some reverse? Yeah, and that could be really cool. Yeah, because we already have earlier in the queue, we have that hit. And so what can we do to really differentiate this hit, which comes at the beginning of Act 3, towards those punches and edits there at the end of Act 3. It's actually kind of more like in the halfway point of Act 3, these stutter. But you've done a fantastic job of balancing all of the sounds and just how dense these arrangements are. I mean, we're pushing 9 luffs, but that's okay. These trailer cues get away with being really, really loud, so I'm totally down with it. But I think this was absolutely fabulous. Really appreciate the work on this that you did. And so this is cue number 9. And how have the other cues been received? But I think you're well onto something here. And like I said, this was sent along during our week 40 weekly feedback thread, and we put threads together every single week. And right now we are taking submissions for week 41, where folks leave their cues, give feedback on other cues. It really is a super collaborative community, and we'd love to have you. Why don't you think about joining us over at 52cues.com? It is free to join, and if you're looking to really take the next steps into your career as a production music composer, then consider becoming a subscriber. Your friends or family, we would love to have you. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you had a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.